happen. You're asleep. You don't know. You can come out botched. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into my video today. Today's video is going to be a BBL Q&A. So I went on my Instagram and I asked you guys what type of questions did you want to see from me. And yeah, I got a lot of questions from y'all, so we're just gonna jump right into it. So it's going to differ. My particular doctor is Dr. Mora in the Dominican Republic. And at the time when I got surgery, it cost for me, the actual procedure was $3,600. And then there's gonna be additional fees such as your faja, your floppy pillow, medical insurance, x-rays, things of that nature. So in total, I gave Dr. Mora's office $4,150. Now, there are gonna be extra costs that goes along with this BBL. It's not just the procedure. I would honestly recommend to anybody who wants a BBL to budget out at least $10,000. And that's because you're gonna need a new wardrobe, you're gonna need post-op massages, you're gonna need fajas. It's a lot of things that go into surgery, and it's definitely an investment. So to answer your question, how much did the surgery cost? $4,150. Recovery is very painful. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it and say, oh, you'll be okay. You will be okay, but it's painful. It's very painful. The first week is the hardest because you really can't do anything yourself. You need help getting up. You need help going to the bathroom. Going to the bathroom is not going to be regular. There's a whole list of things that go along with recovery. So I feel like I might do a separate video on recovery because I don't want this video to be too long. But if I could say in the shortest, recovery is very painful. Recovering for a BBL, honestly, for me, it was like probably some of the worst pain I've ever felt. Because you have to get post-op massages. Those massages, the worst thing I've ever felt. And I have tattoos, piercings. It hurt more than that. Like, it was a different experience. You're bloody. You feel like an old lady. You need help with everything. You may get embarrassed because you got blood all over you, you dripping blood. A BBL is a major surgery and you just did something major to your body. So you have to allow your body to heal. So I would say recovery is also a process because although my body is not in pain or anything like that anymore, your body still is able to be shaped and formed up until 6 months. So if you want to call that recovering as well, you can. But as far as when I'm done bleeding and those things, like, it takes about 2 weeks for you to start feeling a little bit normal again, in my opinion. The post-op pain, I'm going to rate it a 10. I'm going to rate it a 10. Someone said, what is the total recovery time? I would say about 2 weeks. But when I say this, y'all, I'm not saying 2 weeks and you can immediately go back to your regular life. I'm 1 month post-op, and still sometimes when I might try to move to the side or get up a certain way, it still might hurt. So it takes a little while to get back to your complete normal self. Everybody is going to be different, but for me, I feel like I'm almost 80% back to myself, and I'm on post-op. The bleeding for me, the first week was a lot. You have a drain. For my doctor, he does one drain. It was in the back of me. I have an incision like right on my butt crack. That's where the drain was placed. Those first few days, like 3 days, I was super bloody to the point where, like, I sit down and I get up and it's blood from wherever I sat at. So yeah, the blood, it's a lot of blood. It does eventually stop, but it's more so because your body is draining fluids. Your body is just pushing out all those extra fluids. So even up until the 2 week point I left, I was still draining, but it wasn't super bloody. For me, only the first 3 or 4 days was super duper bloody. After that, I could probably put like one pad in my faja and I was good. But first 3-4 days, bloody. Honestly, if anyone would ask me, like, do I recommend them getting a BBL, I'll say 100%. Get that BBL, girl. Because for me, it's one, been a confidence booster. I've never looked in the mirror and felt like I love the way I look. And at this point, I'll walk around the house naked. I'll wear a bikini. These are things that I would never do. Even in the comfort of my own home, you would never catch me walking around naked by myself. Now, who wear clothes? Not me. But so when you ask how is it, I mean, it's a process. It's different, but is it worth it? Yes. For me, it's 100% worth it. I would do it all over again. I would take all that pain all over again. So you put a deposit down, and that's all I did. Because of the Dominican Republic, they don't accept payments. Now, if you get a surgery in the U.S., you will be able to make payments on, for example, if you go to Havana Plastic Surgery, they have a portal. For the Dominican Republic, they don't have things like that. So you go ahead and pay your deposit to whoever your coordinator is. And from that point forward, I just saved my own money. I just made goals. Like this month, I'm gonna need to put $500 in savings for my BBL. This month, I'm gonna do da-da-da-da. So no, I didn't make payments. I just made a deposit. Leave town. Yes, I left town. I went to Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. What made me get a BBL? You guys, honestly, I've never ever in my life been comfortable with the way I look, ever. Like, this goes back to as much as I can remember. I've always been the type of girl, I'm gonna cover up, and not because I'm trying to be super modest, but because I don't want anyone to look at me. I don't want you to see me. I don't, like, I always try to hide myself no matter what. I always wear big clothing. If I did wear something tight, I was super self-conscious about it. And it was one of those things where I did try the gym. I had multiple fitness trainers. Like, I felt like I tried everything in my power to get my body the way I wanted to, and it just wasn't happening for me. So I made the BBL a personal goal. I knew that this is what I wanted to do. So really what made me get it was just having the body that I want. Like, I always say, if something that you want is in your grasp and you're able to do it, go get it. And so that's really it. I wanted to feel confident about the way I look. I always felt like, I was a pretty girl, but I never felt body confidence. I never felt like I could walk on the beach and be proud of what I looked like. I always felt like ill, like standing next to any of my friends. I always was trying to hide behind people. So for me, it really was a body confidence thing. I don't really understand the question. How long did I wait to have my procedure? I put my maybe I can answer it this way. I put my deposit down. When did I put my deposit down? Okay, so let's go back. I have been planning this BBL for up to a year. So maybe you could say it like that. I don't really understand the question. So maybe you could say I waited a year. I switched. I had 2 other doctors before I went with my doctor. So yeah, hopefully I answered your question. But if you're asking, like, when did I have to wait, like, I went to DR and I had to wait 2 days before I got my surgery. So I'm not sure. Hopefully, maybe they answered. Hopefully. It's fat. I have fat, y'all. This goes into me covering up so much. I've always been chubby in my midsection area, but I made sure the type of clothing I wore that it wasn't visible. So I'll put a before and after picture somewhere here so you guys can really see. I had fat. I had back rolls. I had all that. So my doctor definitely had enough fat to take and transfer. I love my shape. The only thing I would ask for is bigger hips. But that's just a personal preference. I really do think my doctor did a great job at making me proportionate. I think it's just my personal preference that I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, dang girl, you should have went for more. He asked me, did I want huge or did I want big? And I was so scared of looking like a chicken, like a tooth, that I was like, just give me big, don't give me huge. But if I had to do it over again, I would definitely ask for huge. it 100,000,000,000% it's worth it. Like, I can't explain to y'all how happy I feel with myself. Getting out the shower, looking at my body in the mirror, it's like, dang girl, you look good. Like, still, yes, I still get massages. It's important to keep up with your massages because in total, I've had about 14 massages. My doctor recommended for me to get, my doctor recommended me to get 10 massages at minimum when I come back. Massages are super important. I'm gonna continue to get them until I feel like my body doesn't have any fluids left. I still feel like I got fluids in me and I need those massages, and massages help contour your body. So yes, I'm still getting massages even though I'm back from the DR. Those rules depend upon where you go. Because I went to the Dominican Republic, I'm able to sit with no boppy pillow, no BBL pillow. I'm able to sit from day one. So if you go to the US, it might be a little different, but for DR girls, we can sit immediately and it's not gonna mess up your results. So I researched my BBL for over a year. I did through YouTube, through Facebook groups. There is an entire surgery community that I highly recommend you join if you are interested in getting surgery, if you're serious about getting surgery, where you can get the tea on doctors. You can see what doctors may give infections. They have deaths. A website called Real Self gives you a lot of tea on doctors. So I combed through the internet. I combed and combed and combed through the internet along with my surgery Instagram. And I'm actually gonna do a video on how to find your doctor because that's a really long answer. But for sure, you do research on the internet, you do research on Instagram, you do research on YouTube, you DM dolls, ask them whatever questions you have. You go to your doctor's Instagram, look at their before and afters. You also want to look up if they have deaths, if they have infections, things of that nature. And I researched for like an entire year. Not on my doctor particularly, but I researched doctors period for like an entire year. Any surgery is going to come with risk. So yes, a BBL does come with risk. There are some dolls that don't make it from a BBL. So it has to be something that you want, and it has to be something that you're okay with the risk. There are dolls who get infections. There are dolls who don't keep their fat. There are a lot of things that can go wrong with a BBL. So it's a personal choice, and there are like pros and cons to it. So, but as far as bad benefits, I don't really, because benefits can't really be bad. But like, yeah. So I hope maybe the answer, hopefully. Okay. So cons are going to be the downtime. You have to take off work. Pros are going to be your body confidence. Another con is only con I can really think of is possibly not coming out the way you want to. Like, even if you research your doctor a lot, they could not deliver for you. Anything could happen. You're asleep. You don't know. You can come out botched. So there are a few cons. You can get infected. You could die. And it's not, and you just never know, like, because you're not in the operating room, you're asleep. They can have somebody else operating on you. You have to take all these things into account. But some pros are going to be your body confidence. And I mean, honestly, the only pro I can really think of is body confidence, because this is a cosmetic surgery, so it's not needed. It's just because someone wants it. So related. It was completely doctor related because I was going to go, at first I was going to go to Cali, Colombia, then I was going to go to Miami, and then I found Dr. Mora, and I'm like, I'm going to the DR. I personally feel like DR results are completely different than US results. I feel like a lot of DR doctors, because they are able to lipo more fat, they're going to give you a more snatched look than you can get in the United States. Little things like that, differences. For the look I was going for, I felt like the DR was the place that I had to go. So I think that I answered all of you guys' questions. If you have any more questions, leave it down below, and in my following videos, I will update you guys. I will add those questions into the videos. But I really appreciate all your questions, and I hope this helped you. If you